You step onto your porch, coffee steaming in your hand, ready for a quiet morning. The air's crisp, birds are chirping, and maybe you'll catch a wave from a nosy neighbor. But instead, wham! Red and blue lights flash like a bad action. Flick, bouncing off your garage door. That was me standing there in my slippers, 2 patrol cars boxing in my driveway like I'm the star of a Midnight Tales true crime episode. Let me tell you, nothing jolts you awake faster than cops staring you down, especially when you're 100% sure you didn't do a damn thing wrong. Across the street, Mrs. Henderson's blinds twitch like she's auditioning for a spy movie, and the Johnsons aren't even pretending not to gawk. 23 years in the military taught me to keep my cool under fire, but even I'm standing there thinking, you've got to be kidding me. Officer Martinez steps up, all calm authority, hand resting on his belt like he's seen this scene 100 times. Behind him, a rookie fumbles with a clipboard, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. Martinez hits me with that, "We're just doing our job" tone, saying they got complaints from my homeowners association. Excuse me, my what? About violations, unpaid dues, and a laundry list of nonsense longer than a Midnight Tales marathon. I glance at my perfectly mowed lawn back at him and just laugh. Here's the punchline: I don't have an HOA. That was my one non-negotiable when I bought this house. After decades of government bureaucracy, where one wrong signature could derail your life, I wasn't signing up for neighborhood overlords. I did my homework, checked boundaries, deed restrictions, talked to attorneys, the whole 9 yards. My lot's one of 5 old-timers that never joined the Willowbrook Estates HOA. I've got it in writing, notarized 3 times over, locked tighter than a Midnight Tales plot twist. But the cops? They're clutching a stack of official-looking papers, maps, bylaws, all stamped and sealed like they're straight from City Hall, claiming my house is under HOA control. Someone's gone to serious lengths to make this look legit, betting I'd fold when the boys in blue showed up. "Officers," I say, cool as ever, "you're being played. My house has never been part of the HOA. I bought it that way on purpose." The rookie's shifting his weight, nervous while Martinez scans his paperwork, starting to realize this isn't the quick shakedown they were promised. Let's rewind a bit. The HOA started sniffing around not long after I moved in. First came a welcome letter with a dues invoice, straight to the trash. Then a late fee notice, same treatment. By the third one, they were throwing shade at my mailbox, my shed, even my garden, threatening violations for rules that didn't apply. To me, I'm thinking, either they don't know the boundaries or they're just flexing. Military life taught me how to spot bullies, who only have power because people let them. This was just a bunch of neighbors playing king of the cul-de-sac. Then Margaret Winters, HOA president, struts up my walkway with a folder thicker than a Midnight Tales script. Picture a retired principal who thinks she still runs the school. No smile, all business. She lectures me about community standards, saying my non-compliance is tanking property values, waving maps with my lot circled, bylaws, even photos of my house like it's evidence in a Midnight Tales mystery. I stay polite. Show her my paperwork, deed, certified survey, city records. She brushes it off like I'm splitting hairs and warns that if I don't play ball, things will escalate. That's when I started keeping a file, Midnight Tales style. Every letter, every photo, every slow drive-by from her minions documented. Military life taught me, when someone's pushing you around, you fight back, but by the book. The HOA didn't back off, they doubled down. Letters got nastier. Suddenly, I owed $3,000 in back dues. My American flag was too large, my mailbox the wrong shade of black. My garden violated landscaping codes that didn't exist. My favorite? They claimed my dog was barking too much. Plot twist: I don't own a dog. It was clear they were just tossing out accusations to see what would stick, hoping I'd cave like most folks, pay the fee, repaint the mailbox, move on. But I've faced bullies before, and they only stop when you stand your ground. Then it got personal. Margaret started strolling by, loud talking on her phone about my violations, giving board members tours that conveniently paused in front of my house. She wanted the neighborhood to see me as the problem, the villain, in her little Midnight Tales drama. But something unexpected happened. Neighbors started dropping by, apologizing for her. sharing their own stories of HOA harassment. Turns out I wasn't the first they'd targeted, just the first to push back hard enough to make it stick. One day, Margaret zip-tied a notice to my mailbox. 72 hours to comply or face police action, complete with city ordinance citations that didn't apply. That's when I knew they were bringing in the big guns, so I prepped my paperwork, called my attorney, and waited for the showdown. Back to that morning. Cops in my driveway, neighbors staring like it's a live MidnightTales stream. I calmly, "Tell Martinez, give me a minute, I'll show you everything." I grab my file, deed, survey, city records, the works, and hand it over. Martinez reads every page, and you can see it dawning on him. My property's not under HOA control. The rookie's just shaking his head, probably regretting his career choice. "Well, Mr. Thompson," Martinez says, "looks like there's been a misunderstanding. We'll verify with the HOA, but I appreciate your thoroughness." I hand him another folder. 6 months of harassment, every letter, every threat, every certified response I'd sent. "This is what they've been doing," I say. "They've tried this on others too." Martinez flips through it, sees the tone shift from friendly to nasty to outright threats. "This is quite a paper trail," he says, and I can tell he's taking it seriously. "Filing false police reports, that's a bold move even for a MidnightTales villain." As the cops leave, Martinez promises to follow up, and you can see it in his eyes. He knows he's been used and nobody likes that. I could have let it end there, but Margaret and her crew crossed a line. I dug deeper, pulled public records, and found the HOA had been pulling this stunt on others, targeting old properties on the edges, collecting illegal fees, even driving out owners who couldn't fight back. I reached out to 3 neighbors, Sarah, David, and Jennifer, who'd been hit too. Sarah paid $2,500 she didn't owe. David shelled out $3,000 re-landscaping his yard. Jennifer's story hit hardest. The HOA went after her elderly mum, threatening liens, hounding her until she paid over $5,000 to keep her house. Her mum's final months were filled with fear instead of peace, a tragedy worthy of a MidnightTales deep dive. That's when this stopped being just about me. We teamed up, pooling our evidence like detectives in a MidnightTales special. Sarah had recorded calls where the board threatened her. David had photos of them trespassing on his property. Jennifer had medical records linking her mum's anxiety to the HOA's harassment. We laid it all out and saw the pattern. This wasn't just overreach, it was a racket. Most of the HOA's budget came from fines and fees from people who were never supposed to be members. Extortion, plain and simple. Instead of rushing to court, we went through official channels first. I filed a complaint with the state agency overseeing HOAs, attaching 47 pages of proof. A former attorney, Janet Walsh, sharp as a tack, called me. She'd already heard whispers about Willowbrook Estates and said my file showed a clear pattern. She scheduled interviews with us and started auditing their books. 3 weeks later, the state dropped the hammer. A formal cease and desist ordered the HOA to refund all illegal fees, stop contacting us, and submit to oversight. Margaret was ousted as president, other board members got the boot for ethics violations, and the HOA's reputation tanked. Home values in their zone dipped, lawsuits started brewing, and not an HOA member sign sprouted on lawns like dandelions, mine front and center, bold as a MidnightTales thumbnail. Margaret sold her house at a loss and slunk away. The new board under state watch stuck to their own business. My house? It went from problem to a symbol of standing tall, featured in a local paper story that had neighbors thanking me and questioning what their HOA fees were even for. Standing on my porch, looking at my sign, I felt that rare satisfaction you only get from winning the right fight. Not because you want trouble, but because some bullies need to learn not everyone rolls over. Willowbrook sent the cops to my door thinking they could break me. All they did was pick the wrong guy to mess with, and now their saga's a cautionary tale on MidnightTales. So, here's my question for you. What would you have done? Should HOAs have the power to bully people who never signed up, or is there a line? Drop your take in the comments, law and order, or a little old-school rebellion. Subscribe to MidnightTales for more stories of standing up to the system, and let's see whose side you're on.